I run Empowered STEM. And Empowered STEM is an A-level course provider, and we provide A-level courses in biology, chemistry, physics, and maths for those students that want to enroll in medical, dental, veterinary, financial, and engineering programs at the chosen university in the UK. So today I wanted to come in and I wanted to talk about the science behind study timers. This is a question that we get asked a lot by the parents, and it's this. So, well, Graham, I've seen my teen use one of these study timer apps on their phone. And they're always tapping it and at the start, beginning of the session. And, I'm just wondering, do you think that they really help, or are they just a gimmick, a fad, something else for people to get distracted with? Well, I tell you what, at the end of this live session today, what I'll do is I'll give you some clarity. I'll talk to you about the science behind study timers, how they can help increase your teen's focus and memory, retention, and as a parent, what you should know and how to use them effectively. So this is the problem that we have with the parents. And the parents come in, they say, well, yes, see, the problem is, Graham, is that my teen, my son, my daughter, they're upstairs and they are studying in their room, and I don't know if they're being effective in what they're doing. I mean, they look busy. Their desk is, full of papers and textbooks and a calculator and everything else. Mm-hmm. They look busy. And so I leave them alone. And then they're tapping away on their phone on something or the other, some app that they've downloaded. And what I worry is, are they actually getting work done, or is it just procrastination? Another way for them to get distracted. And so there's a bit of a tension then builds between the parent and the teen, because the parents, you all want the best for your teen. You want them to get the A and the A star in A-level maths and science. But you do wonder, are these study timers, are they an effective boost in the learning, in the understanding, in the memory skills, or is it just some kind of hype? Some study they've done somewhere, and all of a sudden it's the in craze of one of these study timer apps on the phone. Well, there is a science behind it. And at Empowered STEM, you realize that we always use science in order to help teens earn the best grade they possibly can earn. But there is a science behind it, and it's this. Look, cognitive scientists know that your teen can focus for about 45, 60 minutes before they get what's known as cognitive fatigue. And the real world example of this is, what's the length of the average TV shows that you watch? An hour. Well, time you take out the 15 minutes of advertising, oh, look, it's 45 minutes. Right. So even network broadcasters realize that there's a time limit for how much you can actually focus and concentrate. But besides the cognitive fatigue, cognitive scientists have also found out that it's better for your teen to study in a short burst and then take a break. Because if they do a short burst and then take a break, then their attention increases and then retention of knowledge increases. And when you think about it, it kind of makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? Because again, look, parents, tie it back to your own life. I mean, if you're sitting down reading a book, for example, how long can you read before you get bored? Exactly. So, the idea of these marathon reading sessions that you may have of your favorite novel, like your favorite author, doesn't make sense in your world. And it doesn't make sense in your teen's world either, when they're trying to study, revise A-level maths, A-level science. So there is a science behind science timers. It ties directly into focus and fatigue and effective learning. So what they've done is they've come up with a phrase for it, And the phrase is the Pomodoro effect. And the Pomodoro effect is this. They've done this study somewhere. There's always a study, right, parents? They've done this study somewhere, and they found out that attention is at its peak when you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. Or you work for 45 minutes and then take a 15-minute break. Because what happens is that your brain thinks, okay, I've got to concentrate for 25 minutes. I'm going to really get into it, focus, do the task that I've been given to do. And then at the end, I've got a 5-minute break where I can go relax and do something else. Or if your teen is really good at concentrating, like in a really deep session, you can push it out to say about 45 minutes. So they can work for 45 minutes straight, say doing past paper questions, okay? And then they take a 15-minute break. Now, analogy to this one then would be sports. If you're running, say that you're running on a track, right? So you sprint around the track once, and then you take a break. And then you sprint around the track again, and then you take a break. Yeah, it's interval training. So what they know is that recovery between the sprints makes the second and third sprint more effective because your body gets a break. All right. So the same thing then with the Pomodoro effect is that it's been shown to improve focus. It's been shown to support memory consolidation. You said, well, hold on a minute now, Graham. What on earth is memory consolidation? The focus bit, I got that bit. That means that you can concentrate for 25 minutes or 45 minutes. But what's this support memory consolidation? It's this. When you study, say for 25 minutes, and then you take a 5-minute break, your mind, it actually files the information more effectively. I think of it as it's got time to organize the filing cabinet, put all the papers away inside the folders, inside the filing cabinet, and then close the drawer to the filing cabinet. Okay. It also creates structure for your teen because they know what they're doing. And teens actually crave structure. They may say to you, Mum and Dad, I don't want any structure, but really they do. They like to know what they're doing. So you're thinking, create structure. It means that I got 25 minutes of A-level chemistry, then I'm taking a 5-minute break, and then I'm going to do 25 minutes of A-level biology. I'll take a 5-minute break. You get the idea. It also builds motivation. Because again, parents, when you think about it, we all like to achieve, right? And so something as simple as a tick or a check in a box, it drives people forward. Like, did I read the 5 pages of the textbook? Yes, I did. Did I answer these questions? Yes, I did. Did I do these past paper questions? Yes, I did. Did I take a break? Yes, I did. All right. Because it's a small win. A small win, what they stack up until in the end you get a rather large win. You get some momentum going. Because again, parents, what you got to understand is this. Look, A-level maths, A-level science, they are a marathon. They're 2 years, aren't they? So, here's some practical tips. Try a phone-free timer. Oh, Graham, I just bought my son and my daughter the latest phone and the latest tablet and laptop. What do you mean we're going retro? We're going back to the old style timers you can get from Amazon. They're less distracting. You can actually buy them on Amazon. The old style timers that chefs used to have, you set it for 25 minutes, you set it for 45 minutes. Perfect. Why? The phone doesn't have to be next to your teen with some timer checking, counting down, and they're checking at it all the time to go and see what's going on. Also try different cycles, different lengths of time to find the right time that works for your teen. So maybe Could be 25 minutes of intense study, a 5-minute break. Or maybe it could be 45 minutes of intense study and a 15-minute break. Or if they're really focused, you can push it to 60 minutes and then a 10-minute break. You really can't go beyond 60 minutes. Why? Well, because then you get cognitive fatigue. So the only exception to the rule I have on this one is unless you are doing past paper questions under timed conditions, because the exam in A-level maths and science, they are 2 hours long. And so your team does have to develop a skill for being able to concentrate under these extreme conditions for 2 hours. Okay. It's also important, though, is that what you've got to do is that you've got to pair the timer with different recall tasks. So what I mean by this is don't think, well, my team's going to read for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. Oh, look, they've done A-level chemistry. Or they're going to copy over their notes at 25 minutes and take a 5-minute break. Oh, look, they've done A-level chemistry. Or maybe watch a YouTube video. No, that's called passive learning. And we talked about passive learning in a different live stream. What they need to have is active learning. And active learning means this. They need to be engaged with the course material. So try active recall. Try doing questions with the answers covered up. Try teaching it to somebody else. That's the Feynman technique. Anything that they can think of, and you can help them out, parents, in order to help them use their time more effectively. Now, you say something else is that you need to use the breaks wisely. So what I mean by that is this. Taking a break doesn't mean, oh, they've done 25 minutes and then I'm going to go look at my iPhone for 5 minutes. I'm going to do some doom scrolling on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, Instagram, right? Watch some videos. No, what I mean is by using your break wisely, I mean literally they get up and they walk around and they get a drink of water. Maybe it's a healthy snack that they have. They need to keep themselves fueled. They need to keep themselves hydrated, and they need to move. Okay, that's why on the Apple Watch they have those rings. Why? Well, because Apple figured out that you need to be able to move so many steps every hour, and actually built it into one of their watches. Now, so, well, yeah, Graham. Again, you say that you embed this science into all the courses that you teach at Empowered STEM. Well, do you have any proof? Any proof that this actually works? Yes, I do. All right. So, of course, there's always proof, parents, because look, what we do is this: is at Empowered STEM we use the 6 pillars of neuroscience. The 6 pillars of neuroscience as applied to learning. They're baked into all of our courses. We use academic coaching, and we use other science techniques as well. Anything that's been proven by science to increase the learning potential of your teen. And the Pomodoro effect is one of them. So it makes me think about Iggy. Now, Iggy, when she came to us, she was doing A-level biology, and she had a D. I know. And she said, well, I don't get it, Graham, because what I do is on the weekend, I spend all day studying, A-level biology, A-level chemistry is what I'm doing. Why are my grades so low? So we put a study schedule together for her. We put a revision plan together for her. But then I also talked to her about the Pomodoro effect. And that is, well, have you tried breaking up your study sessions into 25-minute or 45-minute or 60-minute blocks of time? No. Well, let's go have a think about it. And so I explained to her how the Pomodoro effect works. And she tried it. And so 25 minutes she's doing A-level chemistry, then maybe 45 minutes she's doing A-level biology, and then 60 minutes she's doing A-level maths. She had everything mapped out, but interleaving the subjects, spaced repetition, all the aspects of the neuroscience we talk about. And at the end of the course, she got the A star in A-level biology. So she moved from a D to an A star. And she sent us a note. And she said, you know, the one thing that you taught me besides the A-level biology was how to study, how to revise once and for all. And she used the Pomodoro effect. And she said, what I noticed is as soon as I started using the Pomodoro effect, blocking out my times, interleaving, doing exactly what you said in your study guide that you give us, my grades went up. I could actually track them every week. The grades would go up. And my confidence went up. And of course, because the confidence went up, the grades went up. It was an upward spiral. Okay. Now, this isn't a fluke, parents. This isn't a one-off. A lot of students tell us this because what we do is that we patch any weaknesses that we see in their foundation. Now, time is, by the way, they're not magic. And what I mean by that is, look, they're not going to, on their own, help your teen move from a D to an A star. They're not. But on the other hand, if they use properly, if they give your teen structure, then what you notice is that your teen will retain more information because they're studying and revising in the way that the brain works. They're more focused in the study sessions, the less distracted, because they realize they got to do 25 minutes here or 45 minutes there or an hour there, and then it's time for a break. And more importantly, what they do is that they avoid burnout, which is key. You don't want your teen burning out. So it's like this, parents. If you're enjoying these weekly YouTube lives that we're putting out, if you're finding benefit to them, then what you need to do is, this is on Facebook and it's on YouTube. Look, what you need to do is follow us on the Facebook business page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we do these every week. And the idea is, what we do is that we're always giving tips and tricks and helpful suggestions to the parents to help your teen earn the A and the A star in A-level maths and A-level science. And if after watching this, you think, actually, Graham, you know what? What you're saying is making a lot of sense, and you want to learn about our courses and how we can help your teen earn the A and the A star in A-level maths and A-level science, so they can be a competitive candidate for the chosen program at the chosen university in the UK. Then below the video on the Facebook business page and on the YouTube is a link you can click, and a member of my team will reach out to you and we'll have a conversation with you. Okay. Now, it's a non-sales conversation, and all we do is just any questions that you have about our courses, what we do, and how they work. We will answer the questions for you so that you can make an informed decision on what to do next. All right. Everybody take care, and I'll see you on the next one.